Welcome to Rokani Media Football. It has been a while since I last appeared on this channel, but all in all, I promised you that with effect from today, we are really going to be on and we are going to be off in there for you. I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss that on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Today, I come in here with a story of Arsenal leading Victor Oshimen race in there for you, and this has been quoted from one of the biggest reporters, all news sports outlets from Italy, who goes by the names of Della Gazette. In there, they've really come out and said Arsenal is in the lead to sign Oshimen in there for you. But before we get into that story, there is some positivity into this story. There's a possibility for Arsenal, Manchester United and Spurs as far as the top four race is concerned, because each and every time you see West Ham going ahead, all over ahead into or progressing ahead in the UEFA Europa League tournament because they've reached the semi-final, you just get to know that it's creating chances for Manchester United and Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur to really fight for that fourth spot in there for you, because the more West Ham prosper or propel into this tournament, because they've beaten Lyon by 3-0 away in France and they're now through to the semi-finals. That means they have really gone ahead in there. And you know what it means when you play on Thursday and you come in and play on Sunday? That means you're not going to get enough resting time, because when you look at the squad of West Ham, it's not all that large that Arsenal can come in there and say, oh, we are afraid of it, or Manchester United or Spurs. So that means that the race of the fourth spot looks like West Ham is out of it for now, because the next 2 weeks are really going to be very much crucial in here, because they have to be playing on Thursdays for the next 2 weeks. And remember, this weekend they are also in action. Remember, they are really going to have a very tough fixture in there, that is West Ham in there for you. So I really believe that it's a plus for a side which goes by names of Arsenal, Manchester United in there, and Spurs, because on Sunday they are playing Burnley. You know that very well. They are playing Burnley and they will have rested for only Friday, Saturday, you get, and on Sunday they're really going to come and play. So it shows you that it's really a very big boost in there, because the more they continue into that tournament, the more they are really going to get enough resting time, and hence their focus won't be so much onto the fourth place of the Premier League. They will be so much focused onto the UEFA Europa League, because they know that if at all they win it, they are going to go straight into the UEFA Champions League next season. And when you look at a team like West Ham, they know that when you go in the Champions League, you're really going to get in more and more money. So I really believe that West Ham are so much focused onto the UEFA Europa League in there, and they're not so much focused onto the Premier League for now, because they know that if we go in and beat a team we're going to play in the semi-finals, that will be a declaration that we are already through in there, because they would have played Barcelona, but Barcelona has been knocked out by Eintracht Frankfurt today, and they are now going to play Frankfurt in the semi-finals. And I really believe that West Ham are already 1 foot in the finale, because I know they are really going to come back and beat this team from Germany, because the English Premier League teams have not yet found very tough times recently of beating teams from the Bundesliga. So I really believe that West Ham is so much focused onto that, and I really believe that it's a plus in there, because Arsenal will play West Ham on 1st May, and West Ham would already have played on Thursday at home against Frankfurt. You know that on the 28th of April. That means that Arsenal would have rested for like a week, and West Ham would have rested for just 1.5 days in there. So that shows you that it is very crucial to see a team which goes by West Ham progressing to the semi-finals in there for you, and that is really going to be a very good gesture for this team. Now, smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go to the lower right bottom corner in there. Now let's go into this story of Victor Oshimen. Victor Oshimen is a Nigerian who plays for a side which goes by the names of Napoli in Italy. I know he came in from France, and he was born on 19th December 1998. He's 23 years of old. He was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and he has a height of 1.86 meters. He's such a tall man in there. He's a striker, and when you look at him this season in the Serie A, he has played 21 games and scored 12 goals. In the UEFA Europa League, he has played 5 games and scored 4 goals. In Coppa Italia, he has played 3 games and scored 0 goals. That means in total, he has played 29 goals and his delivery is 16 goals this season. What a man who has really put his name onto the table where we expect him to be. That's being the table of men, table of strikers in there for you. When you look at him, he came in from Lille in 2019-2020. I think they bought him, was it 60 million pounds, 60 million euros from France, and they brought him to their side, which goes by names of Napoli, and he has not been a disappointment. He has always shown up whenever he is needed. Now he's being directed to Arsenal, and who is directing him to Arsenal? It's Gazzetta dello Sport from Italy. It has come out and said Arsenal have set their sights on Napoli striker Victor Oshimen and are currently in the lead when it comes to the important Premier League clubs chasing his signature. Napoli wants at least 100 million euros for Oshimen in there for you. Now, 100% believe that Oshimen is really a very good striker who can fit into that Arsenal squad in there for you. His height, he has the pace, he has the skill, and he is a good finisher. Talk of good finishers in Europe, I think he is one of them in there. But I really believe that the price tag put on him is so much. 100 million euros, close to 82 million pounds. I don't believe that Mikel Arteta would go in for a player who goes by the name of Victor Oshimen because of that price. Because Arsenal believes that the worst they can spend onto the player whom is going to lead their line or who is going to be their new number 9 next season is just 60 million pounds. 60 million pounds, that's the maximum that Arsenal is going to spend in there. I don't believe that Arsenal is really going to go in and really spend more than that. When you look at Victor Oshimen, he's 23 years of age, but that amount of money, I really believe that Mikel Arteta can go outside anywhere and get in a person who can really come in and put in the ball at the back of the net for Arsenal at that amount of money. When you look at other strikers who are really rated far much better than Oshimen according to their talent, and when it comes to finishing, Darwin Núñez, you saw him score in that encounter of Liverpool at Anfield yesterday. He is one of the hot assets, and they only want 65 million pounds. That's how much is needed by a team which goes by the names of Benfica. Now, if Benfica wants between 60 and 65 million pounds for Darwin Núñez, who is better than Victor Oshimen, when you look at their talents, there is no way Mikel Arteta will splash close to 85 million pounds on Victor Oshimen. No way. He won't. He will go in for Darwin Núñez and say, you have 60 million pounds, can you get us this player? You get? And there are players like Alexander Isak for your side. He's 70 million pounds. Now can you go in for Victor Oshimen? You can't. There is no way you'll go in for Victor Oshimen in there for you. But that does not really put out the quality of Victor Oshimen. But when you look at Núñez from Benfica, I just want to show you how Mikel Arteta will go in for Núñez of Benfica because of his age. He's a year younger. He's 22 years of age. He has played 10 Champions League games and scored 6 goals. You hear? He has played Premier Liga, that is the League of Portugal. He has played 24 games and scored 24 goals. It shows you that he's worth a goal every game. That is Darwin Núñez. He has played the Taça da Liga in there, 1 game, and he has played 2 goals, scored 2 goals in there. So, in 35 games, this young man has scored 32 goals. So, I will believe that if at all Núñez, Darwin from Benfica, is at 65 million pounds, I will believe that Mikel Arteta will go all out for him because he is cheaper than Oshimen and he is more talented and his future is far much better and bright the ceiling of Darwin Nunes is really far much higher than that of Oshimen, because African players get satisfied more easily. At the age of 30, an African player will be saying, oh, I've got all what I want, I've gotten this money, what else should I go? What else should I do? He'll be thinking about the money, because he knows that even if I play so much hard, it will be very hard for me to be put into those boots of the greats in there. So that's the problem that African players have. Their mindsets are all not set to go in and compete at the high stages of the game. That's why you saw people like Alex Ferguson not going in for African players a lot, because he said, I brought in these African players and they don't do the needful, they just disappoint me. So what he did was to go in all out for players that don't play in Africa. And I will believe that Mikel Arteta will say, all right, I like Oshimen and we're leading the race right now, but we can't get him at a price of £60 million. Yet there are better strikers who are less, all equal to £60 million, and they are good, and Arsenal can go in and get them. So I really believe that Arsenal, however much they are leading the race, but I really believe that a lot of money is being asked for Victor Oshimen in there for you. And I really believe that they are doing it because they bought him £60 million from Lille, and they feel like they have to make a profit of £25 million from him. That is Napoli in there for you. But I really believe that no one is going to get them that money, especially because of his form, because the hottest assets as far as centre forwards are concerned, one is Erling Haaland from a side which goes by names of Dortmund. You know that very well, and he's really doing very well, though he has been disturbed by injuries a lot this season. Then Nunez is one of those that is the hottest asset in there. Then there is Lewandowski. I really believe that if at all Arsenal qualify for the Champions League, they can sacrifice their 2-3 seasons and bring in Lewandowski and say, all right, let's get in Lewandowski, because we are really going to pay in limited or less amounts of money to a side which goes by the names of Bayern Munich in there, and then he can come and put us and give us some 2 good seasons for us. And him, after giving us 2 seasons, we will go in and say, all right, it's okay. Then we can look for our next striker in there. And remember, there is it called Barreth? There is that young 18-year-old centre forward that Arsenal bought in from, was it Fulham? I think it was Fulham. Then they brought him into the under-23s of Arsenal, and he's doing great. And I really believe that if at all he's groomed very well, in the next 2 years, Arsenal can be having a very good centre forward in him, because trust me not, there is a very high demand for strikers, and they are most expensive players on the pitch. You get Victor Oshimen rated at 100 million euros. That's out. That's out. You cannot get in Victor Oshimen at that price. And look at the Arsenal and how the manager of Arsenal spends its money. They won't go past £60 million for the striker they need, because look, last summer Arsenal spent 149 million pounds on Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale, Odegaard, Nuno Tavares, Lokonga, and Tomiyasu. 66 players, and Arsenal spent 149 million pounds. That means if at all Arsenal is to spend that amount of money on Oshimen, they might be having a bigger budget, because Mikel Arteta operates on a small budget and gets in very many players. If Arsenal is to get in, if Arsenal is to give it the same amount of money, like 150 million pounds, they'll know that the least we are to spend, the much that we are to spend on a player wouldn't exceed 60 million pounds. It wouldn't exceed that. That is 60 million pounds. It wouldn't exceed that. That's, I tell you, if Arsenal is to sign in a centre forward, he won't exceed 60 million pounds, because last season the only expensive player they bought was Ben White at 50 million pounds. Him being at 50 million pounds, that is a defender. That means if they had to stretch out, they will go in for a 60 million pounds best striker. That is Joe Nunes and maybe others in there. maybe an Ishak and any others in the world. Jonathan David is also available, so I really believe that Victor Oshimen, he won't be favored by this, and I don't know what you guys think about it. Do you think Arsenal will go in and pay that amount of money that Napoli is demanding for Victor Oshimen? Feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about this. I go by the names of already. Smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to click the lower right bottom corner and let us know what you think about this story. I go by the names of Rokani David. Aside